and welcome back to the Breakfast Show. Now, our first guest for this morning is the host of Regional Italian Cuisine, which is one of the best shows on Channel 31. She is a one stylish woman and a lover of pizza. She is Caterina Borsato. How are you, Caterina?
Hello, Emma. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for coming in so early this morning.
It is early.
Have you already eaten this morning?
No, I have not eaten, but I always have my, obligatory short black espresso in the morning.
Of course.
Have you got your own barista at home ready to make it up for
I
you?
am the barista.
Oh, sorry. Is this an early time for a cook or a chef to get up?
Look, to be quite honest, because I have a restaurant in the city and we only trade lunches, I'm actually normally up by 6 and into work between 8 and 9 anyway. So all our chefs start working because they make all the breads and stuff really early.
So you don't stop off via the market on the way to work?
I normally do markets on Saturdays, to be quite honest. In the early days when I had no money and I was really poor, I used to drive the car down and lug all the potatoes in the back. I don't do that anymore. No. I've got too old for it.
And you've also obviously got a team of people that work for you. So.
Oh, absolutely. All our chefs are in by 7 o'clock in the morning. So.
Do we get produce in Melbourne that's good enough to recreate the traditional dishes that inspire you?
Oh, absolutely. Look, I think that most people will tell you that, look, we may not have the exact hand movements that some of the old people had back in Italy, but in terms of our produce, it's very high quality here. It's huge. And it's a huge range and perhaps pretty well priced compared to Europe, I think. But look, I have a mother in Gippsland, and look, I get very spoilt. And because I have a small restaurant, I can do it. I can use, when mushrooms are around, we feature mushrooms from Gippsland, for example. So, we can do it on a small scale. So we're pretty lucky.
That's great. Are there things, I imagine that there are things on the stove that have been boiling away for years and years, recipes that have been handed down and, sauces that are just added to and, never actually recreated from scratch, that there's always something brewing. Is that
Oh, absolutely. Look, if you think about it, like even the art of making, I don't know, chicken soup or gnocchi or whatever those basic dishes are, we have to add something. We have to change. We have to progress. But those original techniques, I think, never change. And I think if you watch some of the elderly ladies, with no disrespect to age here, but you watch them making the gnocchi, they're so quick because they do it with their mind up here and their hands are there because they've been doing it for years. It's what all they've ever done.
And are people very protective of their own recipes, like within families?
Oh, absolutely. Look, chefs are protective.
Yeah. Is it shrouded in secrecy? Like no one will tell each other, and you hide your ingredients? And
it's really crazy. I think the new level of chefs are out there are happy to share their recipes.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's what you do with your hands. You can have. Ain't
that the truth?
And when we go back to pizzas, if you think about it, how many lousy pizzas can we eat? And it's probably all the basic recipes of flour and water and yeast and sugar and salt. But, you get lots of various levels of it.
You've got a show called Regional Cuisine, Italian Regional Cuisine?
Yes.
And so what do you feature on that? Is it...
Look, my husband, who's been producing the show for 3.5 years now, it started off as I won't say a bit of a joke, but it was. And he said, well, you can sort of host it because I know lots of things about food and I have a real passion for it. But I guess the real thing for us is that we want to promote a lot of the older people and recipes. Things, they're not going to be around forever, some of those people, including my mum and my grandmother. And we want to just preserve some of those wonderful traditions. So we're not there to get the chefs that are happening now, because they're here now. So it's the older people that we're trying to protect, really.
With those kind of recipes, are they written out or are they handed down as kind of a story? Is it kind of a folklore thing that you pass on and gets amended a little bit each time it gets passed on?
Italians don't tell you any ingredients or weights. It's a bit of this and a bit of that. It's 7 seconds of oil. And
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Well, what are from the growing up? I grew up in Bulleen, which is a very Italian area, and with the Veneto Club and so many Australian families that I went to, our food just didn't match up to the Italian families. Like, I always felt impoverished inviting Italian friends around and go, here, have a ham sandwich. In terms of making pizzas, what are the sort of mistakes that people make when they're not making a great pizza?
Look, I think that the first and foremost thing that we have to say about pizza is simply it's got to be good flour, good oil, good tomatoes, good salt. It's got to be good salty. It's got to be every single part of the pizza has to be important. But look, I guess because of industrialisation, we have a lot of electric ovens now, and the best pizzas are made in wood-fired brick ovens because they heat the ovens up to about 400 degrees Celsius, and the whole purpose about that is that you've got a slight puffiness of the base, and then the melting and integration of the ingredients at the top. It's a really amazing process, and that you can achieve very quickly in a wood-fired oven.
Right. Where would you say are the best pizzas in Melbourne? One of those then?
Oh, look! My daughter and I eat pizza every Sunday night, and we eat out because obviously I'm in the restaurant trade, so sometimes I just need to get out. So I look for. I only ever order a margherita. I'm going to be honest about that.
Really?
Because
Why
I
is that?
judge
Like it's simple.
every pizzeria on their margaritas. That way I can do my own judgments.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that because I have an electric oven that they're not as good, but as I said, the best ingredients or the best flavours come through the wood-fired ovens. My former chef, Rita McCarley, who is the guru here in Melbourne, but it's damn hard to get into her pizzeria here in Gertrude Street. But Woodstock, there's lots of places that I go to. I guess it's not a thing about plugging people, but for me it's about, I've got a daughter who's 8 years of age, so I want to go in. Pizza is snack food. It's not supposed to be a meal. This whole thing about eating it with a knife and fork, it's a bit of a joke really, because Italians, the way they do pizza is, you don't even, how when you buy the takeaway pizza and they sort of cut it in the eighths and whatever. Well, Italians don't even do that in Italy. What they do is, it's basically, if you get four corners and you pick it up and you eat it with your hands, that's the etiquette of eating pizza. But here in Australia, we sort of do a few different things, and we have expensive Pinots and
We do, and even dessert pizzas, which we didn't get to talk about, but we'll have to get you back. Perhaps we could go out for a pizza eating experience with you, Caterina. That would be fantastic.
I'm not saying I'm the guru, it's just what I like.
Oh, I'd be happy for you to show us around. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. I know it is early for you, and have a great day in the kitchen.
Yes, I will.
Fighting the good fight.
And enjoy, and I hope you have nice empty stomachs to a big breakfast.
We'll do what we
That is
can.
a classic Italian mum. You're even trying to feed us as you're leaving.
Exactly.
A cereal pizza.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to check in with the news headlines. Don't go away.